Wait.
Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, no, you mean this event?
No.
He's overcame in his life. Where does this rank?
I thought you meant
No, in his life, where does this rank?
You said top 50. I said 49.
That's the point. I don't think it's a, I don't think it's coming back, mugshot.
No.
Mar-a-Lago's worth $18 million, trying to deplete all his cash. E. Jean Carroll, you got Karen McDougal, all this stuff. This ranks nowhere. Yeah. He is looking forward to delivering the message, and I have a feeling in his own unique way he's going to give the middle finger. Adam, I'm coming to you, Adam, up there. What are you thinking? What predictions can you think he's going to give? Did anybody in there, when you're talking to them, whisper to you, he may announce this tonight, he may announce X to you tonight? Did anybody say anything to you?
It's funny that you asked that, because everybody has opinions on Trump, and they're going to obviously side with him. And I said, what do you think is going to happen tonight? Nobody knows. That's the beautiful thing about what's going on here tonight is Trump announces everything. He's not the type of guy that you want to keep a secret from or with. But no, I asked her, what are your predictions for tonight? Nobody has an idea. Do you think that Trump has something up his sleeve, an ace card? Of course. Is he going to bring out women? Is he going to give out money? Who knows what's going to happen here? It remains to be seen. But I just want to circle back on one thing. You guys were talking about Epstein. You know who Jamie Raskin is?
Yes.
Remember that guy?
Of course, yes.
Okay. The amount of political theater that I'm seeing here, in the rotunda where everyone's hanging out, all the legacy media is there. Jamie Raskin is there with his stand with the victims, release the files slogan on his shirt. And one of the news reporter goes, Congressman Raskin, you've had 5 years to address this. Why now? He's like, check my record. But it's complete political theater. And I've seen it for myself, the fakeness, the inauthenticity that's going on here. Maybe Vinny and I will come here and do a skit next time, but it's absolutely ridiculous. They've got nothing to run on. So it's kind of like Trump bad, Epstein worse, we love illegals. That seems to be the similar theme here, what's going on in the Democratic Party, unfortunately.
And it's funny when you're saying this, everything about illegals. Rob, can you play that clip today from AOC? Oh, my God. She's already up there, or he's about to wake his way up? Yeah, go to the AOC clip, Rob. I think we have about 2 minutes left when you're doing that. Here's AOC and Mamdani. Rob, because they're going to speak in Spanish, let me read the tweet first right above it, and then we'll go right to it. Zoom in a little bit. This is from Mario Nafal. Mamdani and AOC released a Spanish-language ad telling illegal immigrants to sign up for free childcare in New York City. Working American parents can't afford childcare for their own kids, but sure, let's subsidize it for non-citizens first. Go ahead, Rob.
Hola.
Mi español no es el mejor.
No te preocupes, alcalde. Si su hijo o hija está cumpliendo 3 o 4 años en el 2026, usted puede registrarlos gratis en el programa Kinder 3 o Pre-Kinder de la ciudad de Nueva York.
You don't feel the genuineness?
Fake
Pero
smile. Look
debe
at
registrarse
that sincerity.
Look at it when he stops to smile. Look at his face when he stops it. Look, boom,
Cualquier
serious.
padre de la familia de la ciudad de Nueva York, sin importar su ocupación, ingreso
To make a
o
martini, shake
estatus
slowly.
migratorio, es elegible
Add the
para
vermouth
registrar
with
a
caution.
sus hijos.
Hola. And just really, really fast, I know you're about to go. Do you understand what that's saying?
Actually, part of that was helpful.
If you don't belong in the country, come to New York and your kids will have free childcare from the government taxpayer. Are you and Americans are cool. Well, not us, the New Yorkers.
All right, let's hear it, Rob. It looks like the president's made it to the...
Let's go.
That was not a 30-minute walk. That was more like 7 minutes.
That was quick.
On average, it's 30 minutes, but he did it 7 minutes.
He wants to grab the mic.
Let's get right into it. Dinner plans afterwards.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Here we go,
everybody.
folks.
It's
Let's
really
grab seats.
An honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of
Good
the
evening,
United
everyone.
States. Second Lady of the United States. members of Congress, and my fellow Americans. Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Is Supreme Court there or no? I don't see them.
Nope.
Oh, they are. Yes,
they are?
yes. Not all of them. Look at the row right there
Less
to his
than
front
5
right.
months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
Marco Besant, Hegseth.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure.
That's the hockey team, the U.S. hockey team. How much
Thank
you want to bet?
Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years, in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
Zero. Bingo. Zero.
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Rob, which account are you on that's showing this? Is this the White House or C-SPAN?
The White House.
Okay, then
Gasoline,
that's why they're
which
adding the
reached a
stats
peak
to the
of
right.
over $6 a gallon in some states.
Interesting.
Under my predecessor, it was quite honestly
Good for
a
them.
disaster. It is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem while at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest.
The hottest. We are. I mean, he's not lying. The hottest.
As thousands of new businesses are forming in factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Our new friends.
American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
He's going through greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
I love when he steps back.
We ended DEI in America. We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
Oh, look at him staring down the Democrats.
How many off of food stamps? 1 million?
How much?
I thought he said
And for all of these reasons, I
2.4
say
million.
tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
Yes. Yeah, Amy Coney Barrett's there.
No, I see the judges.
Yeah, they're there. I hope he says something about the tariffs today.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Let's go, baby!
Guys, they're walking out.
Awesome! Let's go!
Okay.
Gangster.
They're walking out.
You love sports, man. You love sports.
Yeah.
Look at that, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, bro. He loves sports.
By the way, that's the mainstream media with their laptops not clapping.
Yeah.
That's media.
Dude, that's so awesome.
If you were up there and they're not clapping, would you be tempted, like, to hip check one of the reporters?
Tom, we were down there. I think I stole gum out of Hakeem Jeffries' desk.
It was under it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. He loves sports.
That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
Good.
All right, they're going to come.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
They were busy.
At this pace, he's going to beat Bill Clinton's record.
Yeah.
7 minutes, he's just celebrating hockey. You know this is going to break the record.
We're the curling. Did we win curling?
They were in the Oval Office
We lost?
before. And I just want to say
The Canadian that gave it the
very big
finger.
congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I'd never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
You're the man. He is so funny.
That's a tender right there at the beard. You see that?
Yeah.
Kiss the
Kiss
metal.
gold.
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, The one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Bro.
Can you imagine?
Only,
I got an MVP award. I got a Presidential
Medal of Freedom. There's only 12 guys got it.
Pat, you know what's crazy? You know what Chris said? What's even greater? The NHL season starts tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing this, getting drunk, doing this. And then
By the way, it's about 11, 12 minutes just on hockey.
he loves this.
He could go
Great
2 hours
athletes
tonight.
have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
15 minutes on the hockey team.
Look at those mainstream reporters.
I know, bro.
It's like they're all constipated.
Look, even the generals.
Look,
I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles.
Well, he has a job at Newsom. Come on.
And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
I like that transition.
And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news. So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
World War II veteran is going to be 100 on July 4th. Wow.
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one? As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
So far, he looks the most comfortable, loose, as if nothing is bothering him. Roberta voorarm Robert Judah, dat kan ook weer.
Oh my God.
Arm wrestling.
Yeah.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
Badass.
And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
Wow.
And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together, we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans. All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts.
Boom.
They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Oh, I love that mean mug.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name it. I did not name it.
I didn't name them.
Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people. Great people. You know, I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school, and I made computers, and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling, and pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops, so I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it, how much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. So proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling.
Yeah, look. That's what they applaud for.
But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
Whoa.
Is that Supreme Court to the left of Marco Rubio?
To the right.
To the left.
To his left, yeah.
To his
Moving
left.
forward,
Yes.
factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America.
I love he's looking at the Dems.
For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. Ooh. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly use the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem.
I love it.
They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while, we're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
By the way, online is saying the mic, you see how it pops the audio? That's the mic issue. They're saying there's something going on with the mic.
Somebody's messing with it?
They're saying that.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price
poised.
transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Of course, we're going to go way up, and that's what happened, and now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere, the lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase, but a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500. A reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom.
A great mom. Catherine.
She can't even keep a straight face. She wants to. This man's a comedian.
So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new rate taxpayer protection pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Rachel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
You heard what he just said. You know who he's talking about. Members of Congress cannot use the information for insider trading.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
And Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the pink right there in that row.
They stood up.
Didn't stand
for
up.
that. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
From the top rope.
This man is a comedian.
Stop inside. Oh, he should have named.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation.
You hear
and
it?
we are
On
working
purpose.
on it like
On
you wouldn't
purpose.
believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice
Nick
President
Shirley is coming
J.D.
up.
Vance.
He's about to get a shout out right now. Can you imagine if he does that?
You know, he just bypassed.
Huh?
He just said Vance will lead the charge on these.
Of what?
Expose of the
the
fraud in
exposure
Minnesota.
of
Well,
fraud.
But
he
who's
has
gonna-
to
yeah, he has
because Vance needs a victory. Rubio's been winning nonstop. He's
He'll
on the
get
street.
it done. Find enough of that
With
fraud.
to the audio. would
We
you?
will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large
Yeah, they're lowering
parts
the
of the
mic.
world
Look.
and lawlessness are the norm, not the
It's
exception.
not us.
No.
Importing these
And it's not
cultures
the-
through
It's Elon
unrestricted
Omar in the back.
immigration and open borders brings us problems right
See
here
that?
to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah.
Yeah, there's no way that's not on purpose. No, somebody's doing it on purpose.
Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Okay. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
Rob, what's timeline right now? 60 minutes? Is that the exact time of him starting?
Yeah, because he started a few minutes after 9 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, Homeland Security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Just watch. He's going to watch everybody. Look at the right side. Look at the right side.
Yep, they're sitting.
They're looking around to see if their peers are standing up. Who's the pink shirt to the left? Is she a Republican or a Democrat?
Yeah,
She's been standing up all night, yeah. It's good exercise.
I respect it because he's not taking the shot.
Vic, am I saying something wrong? It's good exercise. We support exercise.
Look at how many Democrats are sitting down that are for illegals. That's a message right there.
Wow, that clip says it all.
100%. Illegals first for them.
This-
Look at Marco. Look at Marco looking around. Yeah, look. Keep looking. So he's going to remember and take note.
They're intentionally. This is for midterms. This is for the American people. This is to show America. Hey, they collectively were on the same page, on the same. Stay for 2 minutes.
Yes.
Look how all of them are still up. He knows what he's doing here.
We got Hakeem Jeffries.
Oh my God! This is a campaign, video that you're going to see everywhere. America, do you want this? This is what look at the cameras catching it. This is all footage. He knows what he's doing. Watch this in midterms. This clip here. Still doing different angles. They get different angles for this clip. Oh my God! One by one, they're going to put names on top of their faces.
Yep.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
I love it. He talked right through it. Good. Look at her.
Well, by the way, first of all, At the beginning of it, they moved Al Green out because he said black people are not apes. He had a sign out.
Yes.
So back to back, he got escorted in State of the Union last year and this year.
Yep.
With his cane. He had a cane with him. You know that nice cane?
Yeah.
It's quality cane.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy cane in it.
And perhaps most
Bam Bam
importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Tupac Shakur.
To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
Yes. You hear them booing?
But are they?
Yeah, they're booing. That's their vote. That's how they freaking get their votes. That says everything you need to know about these people. That's it right there.
All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote.
Yep. But married women.
And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard.
Here he goes.
Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Look at that. Who's the Indian guy? Who's the Indian guy at the bottom next to the girl with the white? That guy's hilarious. You wanted to impeach Trump? The Indian guy?
The reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat.
Bingo.
And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
Listen to the mic. Dude, how purposeful is that? Just eat, or unless it's the worst audio guy in the history of Washington.
No.
And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son.
Oh, my God.
Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
Oh. Good for her. Is that her clap?
thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents.
Jeez.
But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you. They're crazy.
They're crazy. They don't stand up. They're crazy. He's right, though. He's right. He's 100% right.
Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we?
Yes. Yes. Good. Good.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, yes, Christianity, and belief in God.
Amen.
Tremendous renewal. This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man. So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand. Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind. We love religion, and we love bringing it back. And it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zarutska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
Is this the clip? Is this what happened on the train?
That's the, yeah.
How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there. Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen? In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Evalie. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like it. So sorry. Thank you very much. She's a great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night. And she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right. Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
Wow. Wow. Getting shot in the head by an Afghanistan illegal and survivor. Wow. Wow.
Inshallah.
Good for him. Kaya daw. Wow.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand. Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared. And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
Stop.
There he is.
All right, listen up.
People don't like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
By the way,
under the ceasefire I negotiated,
Zilu?
every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. It was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead, of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug, and they dug, and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job. And we're working very hard to end the 9th war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president, would have never happened. As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer. Good. For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protests, 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong, because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed, at my very strong request, to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 2. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily with one meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently.
He doesn't look like he's coming to an end.
No.
3 more minutes, it's the new record.
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For $1 more, we can have $1,776. It's going to... I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. $1 more. I said, $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it. So we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also... We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January.
Did he say we? Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Say,
Yes, he did.
different we.
Oui, oui.
All right. So,
There you have it.
I don't know if that was a...
In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very good. They couldn't believe, they all watched. They saw what happened. This is a different
Japan.
fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby, it's becoming so important. And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice. And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
That is so cool.
Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro, really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter, a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission. We probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy, Eric, and Amy. Come on in.
Purple Heart.
You think?
I mean, if he gave Purple Heart to,
Oh yeah. Oh, and
this
that
could even be bigger because you keep the biggest for the end. So I don't know what you can give. Medal of Freedom, Medal of Honor,
Bronze Star.
could be a Bronze Star. It has to. It went from Medal of Freedom, Purple Heart. This could be a Bronze Star or. Wow, he looks like a. Look at that guy.
So we have a surprise
Here we go.
for Eric and Amy.
What will it be?
In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief
Medal of Honor.
Warrant Officer
Bronze
Slover
Oh wow, it's a Medal of Honor.
with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Told you, Medal of Honor. He's keeping it for the end.
Wow.
Good for you.
Wow.
Wow.
Good for him.
Medal of Freedom, Purple Heart, Medal of Honor.
Yes.
Look at him.
I love it. Stud.
He took 4.
Oh, it shattered his leg. He's on a walker. Dude, that is so sick.
Kind of reminds me of Dan,
Yes.
except he's got a different tattoo part he needs to get
For
from
sure.
that kid. Dan, reach out to him, Dan.
I know you're listening, man.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg, we have it back, we brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House, and Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Wow. That is so dope.
Hundred years old. Look at him smile. Look at him laugh.
This is so awesome. That is so
Respect.
Oh, big time.
Look at his ribbon stack.
Oh, his rack is huge. Look at that soldier behind him. He ain't moving. This is a great story. Having fun, sports is fantastic. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. Doesn't care.
For the people that are watching, that are saying, dude, I got to go to sleep. There's a 79-year-old man right now speaking for 2 hours, and he looks like he can go a few more hours.
I had to get a coffee.
Thank you,
I had to
Royce,
get
and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it. But if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday.
Always wanted one of
But you know,
those.
that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing.
gonna-
and It's an honor to be in the same room with you.
We're gonna get me
Thank you
one.
both very much, Eric. Thank you.
Oh my God, he's so funny. Oh my God.
Are they all
Thank
standing?
you.
Are they all standing up?
They're all.
250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Put on mute, Ron.
Wow.
Okay, so hour and 45 minutes. He broke the record for the longest State of the Union speech ever. And not only that, the previous longest speech ever given by a president that wasn't a State of the Union was by himself at an hour and 39 minutes. So he broke Clinton's record and his own record all in one night, almost 2 hours. Remember, 79 years old, about to turn 80 years old in 4 months. Tom, your biggest takeaway from, and by the way, while this is going on, a couple things we haven't even seen. I'll show you a couple things here. That's Al Green. If you want to get to the first one, Rob, just showed a picture of when the president walked in, what he was showing. Zoom in a little bit. Well, you see what he has or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I at first, I thought that was a meme.
Yeah.
I said, it's got to be AI. Okay. So now go to the video, Rob, if you could, while this is taking place. Al Green becomes the first person to be kicked out of the State of the Union 2 years in a row. That's him. And a couple people are saying things to him.
So stupid.
The guy in the blue museum just said, "Come on, Al," right there. He just said, "Come on, Al."
Where we were just
So, yeah, so that's taking place behind the scenes. And then a couple other people screaming, commentary being made on who was screaming, who was not. Of the Supreme Court justice that was there, of the 9, only 4 showed up.
Sure.
Not the 9. So, by the way, that's 6 Republicans. That means 2 Republicans didn't show up. If you want to play the clip of who was there, these were the folks that showed up.
Roberts, Kagan, Kavanaugh.
Let me just point out, this is the Chief Justice, Elena Kagan, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Justices of the Supreme Court, 4 of the 9, Amy Coney Barrett, Kagan, and Roberts, all voted against President Trump in his tariff ruling. We don't know how this is about.
So that's interesting to see who showed up, who didn't show up. Okay, having said that, favorite part of the entire speech, Tom?
I think the first hour was.
I thought you froze for a second.
I thought.
I was like,
no, I think
the Matrix.
No, I think the first hour was why I voted for him. He went down the list of things is why we voted for him. What he did with, and the list was just huge. I could go on and on and on, but it was a trip down the year, reminding us of all the things he said he was going to do and all the things that he did. Fentanyl, murder the lowest rate, what he did in Washington, D.C., and then starting at the beginning, what he did with meds, the most favored nation, MVF, to get medications down, prescription meds down. He said, I'm going to protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the insider trading. I thought he went through that. So I thought it was a wonderful trip. I was waiting for maybe 1 or 2 new things that might come out, but he reminded us of what he did with the Trump accounts. And he was who we voted for tonight. Brash, poked. You people are crazy. At the same time, makes us laugh. You know, I've always wanted a Medal of Honor for myself. Makes us laugh in that. It's what I expected. I was hoping to hear more on affordability, but I was glad that he reminded us just so much of what he's done on energy prices. He dwelled on that for a minute or two to remind us of what he had done. And then also reminded us of things that were important that he didn't get done yet, that no one's gotten done. The SAVE Act, no mail-in ballots. I felt like this is the president I voted for. I wish more that, I was looking for more that he would give a red meat of things he was going to push over the course of the summer that the voting bloc can rally around, right? You say, hey, with each election, you have to have a cause and you have to have something you're for. And right now, what we have for us midterms is we got to rally around. Don't let them. Don't let them. That's where we are right now for midterms, where I don't feel like we're rallying around a lot of things that are new. The SAVE Act is very important to get it passed. But you see where I'm going? I was looking for like one or two big new things, but it was a trip. It was a trip down reminding me of why I voted for him, and the stuff that he did get done is an amazing agenda.
I'm going to come to a couple of you guys here in a minute, so just be ready. If anybody has any thoughts that they want to say, raise your hand. We'll signal and look for you and come to you. Finney, your thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. I think it was such, like, if you want to talk about entertainment, just compare this State of the Union to Joe Biden's State of the Union. Short, drugged out of his mind, doesn't know what he's saying. Think about what we just got, Pat. Think about this. You got a message for America. You got a celebration of what we are and where we came from, where we are, and where we're going. He gave out medals, like you said, a Medal of Freedom, Purple Heart, Medal of Honor. He brought sport. By the way, the happiest he was in this entire speech was when the hockey team came out. Did you notice how excited he was? Because, by the way, and this goes back to a sports.
And here are some winners.
Yeah, remember, he was, back in the day, he was freaking, at all the boxing matches and all the sporting events. That's who he is. I love that we got a little bit of entertainment as well, Pat. Crapping on the Democrats in front of their faces. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib just angry, bitter, yelling, disrespectful, which I'm not shocked. And he got to reveal. We got to see what these Democrats are really about. They're not standing for certain things. They're pro-illegals, all right? They're not standing up for people that were stabbed and murdered by illegals because of their freaking policies. And guys, we got a comedy show. He's funny. So all around, Pat, I think for 2 hours for somebody that's almost 80 years old, it was awesome. It was this is what I've done. This is who we are, and this is where we're going. I absolutely loved it. It was awesome.
Adam.
Can you hear me okay, PPD?
We can, yes. Go for it.
I wasn't sure. When Tom glitched, I was like, do we have a problem? But I think just Tom's getting tired. It was a long speech. But a couple quick takeaways. Number one, shout out to the men's hockey team. I mean, he paraded them out there. And when he said, we're going to win so big, I'm like, where's this guy going? Boom, they enter the room like that.
Don't let him do that to you, Tom.
I know, I'm sorry about that, Tom.
Listen,
but you glitched for a second.
Do not let him bully you,
Tom. I'm glad you're
back.
back.
I don't appreciate it.
I know you don't appreciate it, Pat, but we had to call, the truth is the truth. We believe in the truth here.
All right,
but can we say what really the bottom line is here? I mean, he's here 2 hours talking. There was a 3-minute segment, and he said, all right, guys, here's your chance. If you agree with this, stand up. If not, stay seated. And he said, if you want to protect American citizens instead of illegal aliens, please stand up. And half the room stood up. Round of applause. And then the Democrats, unfortunately, they showed exactly who they are. Guys, this is not that hard. This is not a partisan issue to say, I stand for the American people. He completely shamed them. He said they should be ashamed of himself. Meanwhile, the people that believe in citizens of the United States are chanting USA. It's the loudest applause of the night. And here these guys are sitting just like blank faces. Shame on you, Democrats. I used to be someone that voted Democrat, and never in my life, after seeing that, could I ever consider voting Democrat again. It's crazy. How are you going to stand for illegals and not the American citizens? Your job is to stand for the American citizens. Democrats, please do better. Last but not least, the one part that they did stand for was the Insider Trading Act. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi. He's like, where are you, Nancy? So the Democrats, unfortunately, revealed their hand. We know exactly who they are. and they're pro illegal immigration and open borders. Guys, this really isn't that hard of a thing, but you hate Trump so much that you're going to sit down and rather than stand up for the American people. Shame on you.
Tom, what are the comment section saying?
Our comments?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't appreciate his poke.
I thought it was funny. I thought Adam, he's trying to upset you, Tom. He's rage baiting you.
What they were actually, the comments were agreeing with Vinny on the medals. When Vinny was talking about the medals, the comments were running that he recognized it was coming down here. He recognizing so many
I was joking
Americans
when I asked
so
what
many
do the comment section say, Tom. That was a total joke. But let me go over here.
Tom's checking the comments section.
Let me ask a couple people here. By the way, you make a very good point on the part about, I think that clip of, this is your chance, stand up, and it was 3 minutes of recording. He stood up and he just looked at him. That's going to be used at every midterm. If I'm a marketing guy, I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to go door knocking for whatever midterm, Congress, House, anybody that's running for midterms. I'm going to go and say, are you more for Americans or are you for illegal immigrants? Hey, when the president said this, your candidate didn't stand up. Is that who you want to vote for? Is that who you want to vote for? That's what I'm doing. So when you're going knocking on doors, I'm just going to get an iPad out and I'm showing that clip. I'm going to get my phone out. That is the easiest thing to do. You don't need a script. You don't need to know the Constitution. You don't need to know nothing. Do you want somebody that defends illegal immigrants more than you? The Democratic Party of today, by the way, not of 20 years ago. If you watch what Schumer said about illegal immigrants 20 years ago, if you watch what Hillary said about illegal immigrants 20 years ago, if you watch what Obama said about illegal immigrants 15 years ago, you know what they say about it? They are not for this, not for this. So what the hell is going on with today's Democratic Party? That is the worst piece of moment of the State of the Union that's going to be used between now and the end of the year. I don't know how much impact it's got. I don't know if it's going to flip some seats. I don't know what it's going to do, but I do think it's a big mistake that they made. Mono, go for it. Who do we have out here on what they want to say?
Hello, Andy Hernandez. I thought he was masterful. He just really exposed what the Democrat Party doesn't stand for or stand for. I don't know. The biggest takeaway that I got is, what do the Democrats stand for? And I will ask you guys is, where would you rank this State of the Union in the 5 that Trump, or the 4, 5 that Trump has had?
Where would you put it? I will tell you from and I'll keep that brief because I don't know if I want to go there. I think for me, it's more about the following. Let me tell you what makes it special. If you think about what is the most difficult decision you have to make this week, think about the most intense, high-intense tension moment with your spouse, with your boss, with a client, with a vendor, with a massive, nasty negotiation conversation. Then imagine you have to go in the room and face that person. What is the most intense meeting you had this year? And how did you handle that meeting? This guy just walked into the room where nearly half the room hates him. Mm-hmm. They can't stand him. And he knows how many people probably watch the State of the Union today. What do you think is the total number of people that are probably going to end up watching that? What's the number? What do you think the number is? Tens of millions? Rob,
20,
what would you say, 50 million?
Yeah.
Say 50, 40, 50 million people watched it. Whoever's watching this, you're a regular human being. You think about tension. You just got publicly your tariffs didn't go through because of Supreme Court. 4 of them are sitting literally in front of you. Right there, they're in front of you while you're speaking. And if it's 4 of them, what does that tell you? At least one of them wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Then you got the complete other side here that's calling you racist, that's calling you all this other stuff. They don't want to see you win. Then you got everybody in mainstream media are saying what they're saying. While you're walking up the aisle, the other guys are rage baiting you. And you get up there and you smile and laugh and have fun and give people Medal of Honors, Medal of Freedoms, Purple Hearts, and you're celebrating with the hockey team and you're saying the women's team is going to come to the White House on a separate day and you're enjoying yourself. To me, that's like the ultimate middle finger to every hater he has. I think that's why it makes this special. I don't know if the context or the content makes it special. I think what made it special is he was inside a tornado. In the middle of it, folks, what is the biggest decision that you're carrying right now? Maybe you know about one of your siblings that's going through a divorce that nobody else knows about. Maybe your kid got caught doing some drugs that you know you're dealing with it. Maybe one of your sons or your daughter called you, they want to get a divorce and leave their wives or their husbands. Maybe you yourself are going through marital issues. Maybe you're going through a health issue nobody knows about. Maybe you're going through a bankruptcy. Something's going on with you that nobody knows about. Maybe you're going through so many different things. How do you walk into meetings? What do you do? Well, what's the burden the guy's got right now with what he's handling? I mean, this is a job you sign up for to be a president. And to come in and do it like that, and this long, and this calm, and have fun in the face of everybody else. Marcus Aurelius, I tweeted this a minute ago. Marcus Aurelius once tweeted this. You guys didn't catch that one, did you?
Old school tweets.
Yeah, he used to be on Twitter a lot back in the days. Marcus Aurelius once said this: the best way to upset your enemies is to remain calm. And he upset his enemies tonight. He made a fool out of them. And by the way, I have a feeling the market's going to go crazy tonight. He said this, and he didn't say that, and he didn't say this. He's going through this. What is the biggest decision they have to make that they haven't made yet? What is the biggest decisions that they have to make that they haven't made yet? What is it? What do you think happened 2 hours before that meeting? You think he's had 2 days to prepare for this? You think he's had 2 days of don't bother me. Don't bother me. Let me get some time. I can't shake hands because if I shake hands, I may get sick. You think he has the privilege to do that? Hell no. What is the biggest decision that he has to make that they haven't made the decision yet? Iran. And you go up there, yeah, all right. Oh, yeah. Hockey. I love the goalie. You know, it was great. That's why we're giving him the Medal of Freedom. What? Yeah. You know, he's a good-looking guy. Look at the guy with the green, that suit was like 2 sizes too small. Yeah. What a good-looking guy, you know. I mean, he's doing all this stuff, working the crowd. So to me, I think you got to give credit to the man that's under that kind of fire, and he remained calm, poised, played, punked them, did what he did, got up, gave the longest speech, and left, and he's 79 years old, about to be 80. You got to respect it. I don't care what anybody says. You got to respect it. Anybody else here that has anything to say? Vic, how about yourself? And maybe introduce yourself and what it is you do so people know.
I'm Jack Production.
Yes.
I work at Ferrari Fort Lauderdale. What I took from tonight, I'm here with my son, my firstborn, and...
This is the son that you guys talked to for 3-4 hours doing hookah?
Yes.
Seriously?
So I think... The first time, this is his first State of the Union. He's never watched, he didn't even know what a State of the Union was. And for the young kids.
How old are you? Okay. He's got like a physique though. He's like a big boy, huh?
Definitely the big boy. These kids, for the first time the first hour of the State of the Union was, to me, what he did, what he's done. But the last hour, for me, taught the young kids the medals, the hockey teams, it felt like he was wholesome, like he did it, you know, like he made it like he did. I think at the end of the day, he felt human. He talked about the medals he gave. He talked about the families and everything he did.
Why do you support him? Why do you support him?
I like his values. I support him because I believe in him. I support him because the things that he talks about. I don't agree the way he comes across certain ways. I don't. But I value his values. The way he talks, the way he's with his kids, the way he's a family guy. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And to me, that last hour, the young kids in this world got it, in my opinion. And that's my opinion.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you know, you hope they're watching. I'm trying to think, when you were 23, were you watching State of the Union?
Absolutely.
I can tell you what my 14-year-old son is doing. He's glued to the screen, watching the State of the Union. He can't wait for me to go talk to him. He's going to be like, Dad, you came too late. I'm not going to see him tonight. I'll see him in the morning. I like when he said this. I didn't watch the State of the Union until I was 47 years old. Today's the first time I'm watching this. Obviously, I'm joking with you. It was probably my late 20s. But 23 years old watching something like this, Yeah, now do me a favor, flip it. I want you guys to flip it now. Vinny, the last part before we wrap this up. Adam, I want you to flip it. Everybody, flip the whole thing. What would the other side criticize? What part do you criticize? What part of tonight do you criticize? Keep this in mind. The great thing about this right now is we have seen nothing. You know how they called Stephen A. Smith? What's the show called? The what? The first take, because you're the first one that's given a take on what's going on, right? We've seen nothing. We don't know what CNN is saying. We don't know what Fox is saying. We don't know what CBS is saying. We know nothing that's going on, okay? But what do you think the opposition is saying after the speech that he gave tonight?
Because I know how disgusting they are and how they're captured by this evil freaking spirit. What? He's giving a Purple Heart to a guy that was just standing in the street and got shot. It's not like he was at war. He was just on the street and got shot by somebody. Why are you giving a Purple Heart? Why are you giving the Medal of Honor for a guy that was getting in a helicopter to go to do one of these illegal wars that you're going to do? Why is he doing that? They should be giving. You
think they're going to say that?
Oh, the Democrats? Pat, I'm telling you guys right now, and you made a great point. Yeah. He's been loving. Go back, everybody. Go to YouTube when you go home. Google Donald Trump, Letterman, Oprah, all those shows. He's consistently stayed on message. I love America. I love this country. And the problem is Democrats hate him more than they love America. That's it. End of the story. So they're going to come at him, Pat, with that type of stuff. Affordability, people are struggling. Oh, illegals, his ICE Gestapo, they were shooting people in the streets. That's all they're going to do. I guarantee you, they're going to say that guy did not deserve a Purple Heart. I'll bet you they're going to say that. That's how disgusting they are. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib were in there yelling at Trump.
What do you think, Tom? What do you think, Tom?
I think there's a 20-minute section that they're going after, and I took notes on this. Starting with the little girl in the black dress, the cutest little girl, the Delilah Law on no commercial driver's licenses for illegal aliens. It's going to be, it's unfortunate what happened with that accident, but he's denying them opportunity to work. Then he went in from that to deporting illegals, to eliminating sanctuary cities, to the Save America Act and no mail-in ballots together. He is trying to disenfranchise from people who are voting. He's trying to disenfranchise them. All of that came together. They're going to go hard on that, which they've already been on. Then deployed forces to D.C. and to Maine and to Illinois. They're going to come back with, he was sending troops in when they weren't needed. He made it worse. I think they're going to double down on those things because those is the red meat for them. And I don't know how much the rebuttal will say. It's the governor of Virginia, a woman about, is she 38 or 40 years old? But it's your angry, white, middle-aged woman, the perfect rebuttal. That's who's giving the rebuttal for the Democrats right now on whatever channel they're broadcasting. And I believe that is what they're going to go after because there's really not. What do you do about the rest of it? Inflation. They don't have math to go after it. There she is. Abigail Spanberger. They don't have that to go after. Reduce the price of pharmaceuticals. That's a fact. How do you go after that? You can't go after that, right? Americans that are off food stamps. That's a number. You can't go after that. The hockey team won. You celebrate it. I know they hate the patriotism in that. But what do they go after? They go after that 25 minutes. You know the 25 minutes I'm talking about? He went down that laundry list. That is what they're going to shoot.
What do you think would be?
Because that's their red meat.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, that's their voting block. By the way, Schumer and Obama and everybody, I'll tell you what happened to them. You think they're crazy now and they're talking about this? What changed? I'll tell you what changed. People moved out of blue states to red states. Electoral votes in the elections moved, and they had to take steps against it. They saw what was happening. It is possible that Wisconsin could be semi-permanently red. You look at rural Wisconsin. With Detroit shrinking as a city, Detroit's no longer a top 5 city. When Adam was there and growing up and his family, I thought Detroit was like number 4. Houston is like number 3 now. So you see what's moving out of Michigan. Michigan could become permanently red unless you bring in different voters. And I believe that's what's happening, and that's their panic. And that's why Schumer and Obama, what did they say last time? Oh, yeah, the illegal aliens, we have to do something about this. Now it's, oh, you're disenfranchising citizens coming to the United States.
Adam.
Yes, sir. Hey, Tom, please leave my family out of this, please. Okay, we don't need to go there, all right? Let's not do that.
You lived there when it was great. You lived there when the Pistons were there, and then the NBA
That's
was
cool.
great.
Yeah, my dad is from Detroit. My mom is from Minneapolis. But, Pat, you asked one question. Flip it. What are the Democrats thinking? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
Okay, so let me give you an example. So I just said don't talk about my family, but I'm going to talk about my mom right now. Guys, brace for impact. I'm about to call out my mom because I love my mom. She's a Democrat. I have family that's Democrat. I have friends that are Democrats. Obviously, I have friends Republican. Everyone in the middle. I love Democrats. I have no love for the socialists or the Marxists or anything like that. But my mom is texting me, and she goes, I know you're in D.C., I know, but he's so harsh, and his delivery, and he's a narcissist, and I don't like the way he makes me feel. And I text my mom the following words: Mom, the facts don't care about your feelings, and please never vote again. I love you, Mom. Here's the reality. I literally texted her that. I'll show you, PBD. I said, Mom, please don't vote, because women, and I love the women, they're very emotional. And I get it. Trump might not, he's very abrasive. He's a brute. I get it. But do you want a nice guy running the country that feels really nice? Or do you want a tough SOB that gets stuff done? Trump is that second version. And I'm sorry, you might be a little uncomfortable with how he handles it, but he's a gangster and he's going to get stuff done. So you might not agree with how he handles it, but look at what Biden did. Are you kidding me? You want a nice corpse, or do you want a real president that gets stuff done? So the last thing I'll say is this. Remember in kindergarten, we played show and tell, right? The whole thing that, don't just tell, show what's going on. That picture of when Trump said, stand up if you're in favor of protecting American citizens versus illegal aliens, they're going to show that picture. And they're going to have to tell the story. They're just going to show it. Guys, this is who the Democrats are. I'm sorry, guys. This is now you. You could have stand up. You stand up for the insider trading with Nancy Pelosi, but you're not going to stand up for your American citizens. To me, it's disgusting. And I'll end with this. They say that the best revenge is massive success. Trump, at the beginning, he goes, what a difference a president can make. Are you kidding me? What Biden was doing, weekend at Bernie style versus what Trump is doing, it's night and day. Respect to you, President Trump. And Mom, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll be home soon. But please never vote again.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
You've known him for how long?
How long have I? What's the first time you came talk to me in that event? 12?
We met in 2012, Pat, working out in the gym.
So
like
how many
two grown men.
How many years? How many years is that?
Vinny, do you not know what year 2012? Do some math.
No, I'm asking you how many
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Would you ever have thought that fast forward to now, that Adam, the Biden voting Hillary, Obama, that guy would be in Washington bragging about Trump and yelling at his mom not to vote for Democrats? Did you ever think that you would have this much impact?
Well, let me tell you, you haven't seen with a lot of people. I've turned a Mexican gangster into the biggest Trump supporting guy. I do this for a living behind closed doors. So Adam's just another one of those guys did it too. But let me tell you
Don't
what the
That's true,
conversation.
but he also threatened me with a pow-pow if I didn't turn my way around. But
let me
I
tell
wanna
you guys,
credit
the
DVD, by the way.
first conversation Adam and I had when Adam wanted to move to Addison because he loved the beach in Addison. And he says he wants to move to Texas. And he calls me, he says, hey, I'm coming down, all this stuff. And while I'm doing the interview, because I was in Miami, I was shooting a video that we never went live with because it was a helicopter video. We just ended up not doing anything with the helicopter video because of the timing of it. And, anyways, long story short, I'm sitting here, I meet him here. He said, Pat, I'm willing to move. I want to drop everything and just come to Addison. You don't have to pay me. You don't have to do anything. I just want to be around you in the office. That's what I want to do. I said, okay, let's talk next week. So I call him. I said, so Adam, question for you. Yes. I said, before we talk about you coming down here, tell me how you feel about Trump. And he goes like this, what do you mean? I said, exactly what I mean. How do you feel about him? Like, this is not an appropriate question to ask in a job interview, but it's like, hey, you're wanting to come down.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Trump? Well, do you remember what you said or no? Do you remember any of it on what you said on that phone?
There was a lot of stumbling and stuttering, like Vinny does.
Yeah. So he goes like that, and then I said, just so you know, I support this guy. And this is a guy that I think is the right guy for the job. And I need to know that that's not going to change here. So this is my position, and you need to be comfortable with it. Anyways, the relationship started that way, and to being right now where he's at, Adam is the biggest MAGA guy I know.
Period.
That is the weirdest thing to tell you this. Adam is the biggest MAGA guy I know. By the way, just so everybody knows, here's how crazy this is. He's the only guy on the panel that's been invited to the White House. That's the craziest thing for you to think about, okay? Yeah. This guy went from being the biggest hater, Biden, Hillary Clinton, all this stuff. He won money of Biden becoming the president. But look, respect to you for the fact that you're
and
able
I'll be
to
at the White House tomorrow, PBD, just, just a little cherry on top.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. You're already in there. I think at this point, there's a lot of potential jobs that could be lined up for somebody like you if you wanted to go into politics. But, you know, this is the part that I think about. And keep Adam on. If you can keep the panel with everybody, with all of us, Rob, the way you had it a minute ago, just keep it like that because I'm going to come to you guys. Here's what I want to think about. So, you know how you see these guys on Twitter who have their own podcasts or Rumble or whatever, streamers and all this stuff, and the business model of rage baiting is a real thing. Mm-hmm. It's a real thing. Like, I'll see my oldest son rage bait my younger son, and my younger son will lose his mind, and he'll come to me. They called me the other day. You picked up the phone, and you were kind of handling it.
Yep.
I can't believe he said this. And I said, yeah, he's trying to get under your skin. He's winning. But you know what he said to me? He said, I'm a this. Is it true? Of course it's not true. Why would you ask that? But if you're getting angry, you're validating to him that it's true. So they'll do this to poke. If you guys haven't seen these videos with the beautiful thumbnails with my face on it, it's hilarious. Sometimes I just watch it. Guys, there's these. They make these thumbnails that are so, especially with new AI. I will sit in the back. I'll watch a thumbnail of me, and I'll have Vinny say, Vinny, look at this one. I will laugh my ass off, even though they're trying to get under my skin. Where am I going to here? Here's the problem with Democrats and all these rage-baiting people out there. You can rage bait and get under someone's skin. But what do you stand for? Show me the results. Have you built a successful business? Have you made real money legally? Have you built a family with kids? Have you contributed to society? What have you done positive? You can rage bait all you want. Nobody gives a shit if there's no results, right? Okay, so now let me bring it here. There's a little bit of background noise, Rob. Someone's playing a clip that I can. It's probably Adam. Adam, turn off your phone because we can hear the video you're watching. But this is the part I want you to think about. So you know how they say, show me the Epstein files. He's a racist. He's a this. Democrats have a chance to show what they're for. I don't hear what you're for. All I keep hearing is what you're against. If you don't sell to your people what you're for, you're not going to find people. All you're going to find is attract a bunch of rage-baiting people. It's like in a company when somebody quits or gets fired, who do they go find? You ever wonder when people quit or get fired from a company, what is the first party they go to? Has anybody ever seen this at different companies? What happens when somebody gets fired? What are the first people they go with 5 minutes later or that night or that weekend? What do they go to? To who?
The negative ones.
To other people that got fired. And then what do? They team up and they say, you don't make you look at this and let me tell you this and this. Yeah, but you're hanging out with people that all got fired. You're just hanging out with all the people that are complaining. What do you stand for? Show me the ideas that you have. If they can't present the ideas on what they stand for, I think this is going to be scary for them going into 2028. They may have a little bit of momentum going into the midterms, but even now you have to show what you stand for.
Can you, and I'm being dead serious, could either of you name right now, just real quick, name one thing that the Democratic Party actually stands for? Not the illegals, none of that.
Pro-choice.
Pro-choice, killing innocent babies. Go ahead.
That's a big one for them. It's
huge.
Pro-choice. You get 67% of women votes.
They love murdering babies.
Pro-choice.
Oh yeah. What else?
But that's still a campaign thing that they have.
Huge.
Okay. You got health care that they're going to get, free health care.
Okay. Yeah, they love free stuff.
You got how many people are in entitlement programs right now? 40+ million.
Yep.
Those are voters.
Yep.
So you got all the entitlement programs.
Yep.
What else you got?
That's what I'm saying. So
you got the LGBTQ community.
It's a very small.
You got the 82% vote of blacks. It used to be 92%.
Yep.
They're at around 76 to 82%, depending on who's running.
Yep.
So they have the black vote. They have 65% of the Hispanic vote. You got the tax the rich, model that's, you know,
They think that's
I don't know
being
if you
forced
saw
or something. They don't
who's the
realize.
Ruffalo, who's the actor?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo
Oh,
today
God.
talked about you should tax the rich in New York. Look what's going on and what kind of money they're paying for all this stuff. This is not. You should go. This is what they stand
This is
for.
Hulk. That's the guy that
But
Hulk.
Vinny, that's 75 million people.
Yeah, but look what happened. Look what happened with Kamala, and I'm telling you right now, I saw another CNN lineup. Think about this: Gavin Newsom is number 1, Kamala Harris is close, AOC, Pete Buttigieg. Guys, think about the pool of people, and collectively, what do they stand for? It's just Trump is this, Trump is that, Trump is that, and then when they land, and now it's like, okay, what do you actually stand for? They don't have anything. They don't have anything.
You know what we believe in, though? We believe. Let me tell you guys a crazy thing. Humberto just sent me. This you guys don't even know this right now. What you were a part of. There's ABC. There's NBC. There's CBS. There's all these massive podcasts. There's YouTube. You guys know you were part of the 5th largest live stream on YouTube today. Just being here. Okay. Look at that. Bigger than C-SPAN. Bigger than Fox News. Bigger than Live Now. Bigger than Face the Nation. Okay. Look. White House is one. You got Midas Touch. You got Associated Press. You got Destino. And then you got PBD Podcast and it's Face the Nation, Live Now, Fox News, C-SPAN, The Fixes. You got all the other ones. CNN. Look at CNN where they were at. So you guys were a part of this tonight as we're going through it. And the reason for that is because there's an audience of people around America. Bless you, Rob. God bless you, Rob.
God bless you, Rob.
Everybody say, God bless you, Rob.
God bless you, Rob.
God bless you, Rob.
There is an audience in America that fully believes the future looks bright,
Yes.
and that's us.
Yes.
Very simple. And that audience keeps finding themselves, which is something I am very, very excited about. And I'm shamelessly going to put the plug again for you. I want to see millions of people going to work, going to church, going to the mall, hanging out with their family, going out there saying, I believe the future looks bright. If you're one of those guys that loves America, do you believe the future looks bright? Go sport some gear, especially 250-year anniversary coming up. And probably in the next 4 weeks, God willing, we're going to make an announcement about 4th of July. It's going to be very unique. It's going to be very big. It's going to be very crazy, much bigger than what we did election night for some of you guys that were there. It'll be historic, and we're going to have the time of our lives together celebrating the 250-year anniversary. Hopefully, you will be with us as well when we make that announcement, but stay tuned. I need something called permits before I can announce it, okay? and permits requires a little bit of, business owners here know what I'm talking about with permits, but having said that, everybody that was here with us, good for you guys. No yawning. I saw you guys staying tight. Thanks to the bartender and the folks that run the boardroom. You guys are awesome. To the crew back here with Jake, Humberto, Rob, and everybody else in the back, Mano, all of us. Adam, you too. I know Adam's got to go to a nightclub.
Can I give a shout out, please?
You and your shout outs. Go ahead. Give a shout out to Club 11, or which one is it?
This is actually a big deal. I want to thank the chairwoman of the House Republican Conference. We're in her office right now, Lisa McClain. She's incredible, and I'll tell you why. She's the most authentic woman. She's cool. She's about 5 foot at best. We're using her facilities.
I saw. Is she the last one in that video?
Yes.
By the way, can you go to that clip? No. I have to show this clip to people because I have to make a comment.
Dress.
Can you go to that clip, Rob, and go? Because you know what Adam looks like standing next to her? Adam looked like the center for the Israeli national team. No. Keep going back. Go back. Keep going. You'll know it like right there.
Right there.
Look at Adam.
Let them talk. Play the clip.
Talk.
Adam looks like the center from Tel Aviv. Look at him.
Congress?
Yeah.
Tell my husband that.
Hey-o. I mean, I'm sure you told him that.
Captain
Now
Impact.
they're proudly Democratic socialists.
Okay.
What's going on?
You can pause it right there. Well, Adam.
She's incredible. She's been so inviting of us. She's literally the most powerful woman in Congress. So I want to thank her team. Also, thank Justin, thank Henry for setting everything up, and thank you for presenting us to DC. And future looks bright. Thank you so much.
You got to get your butt back here because we're flying to a different place. Is it tomorrow?
Thursday.
When are we flying out? Thursday.
But he has to go to the White House.
By the
Pat,
way,
so
guys, let me tell you, I don't know a lot of people that love traveling as much as Vinny. I know when we get on these flights, our flight to Aspen, landing in this one airport, we almost hit 2 different mountains on the way to landing. the what do you call it? The
turbulence
was so bad. It was, I can't even tell you, but Vinny and I shared a very special moment together. We bonded.
We were green.
And we bonded in a way that we will never forget. So, but anyways, having said that, to everyone that stayed with us till the end, you're the best. God bless. Have a good night. We'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. We got business podcast tomorrow morning. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.